This April, we're going to have another Bitcoin halving. In this video, we'll talk about how you should prepare for it.
Yes, but before we do that, we want to dive into some core principles of Bitcoin to understand more about the halving. So first of all, there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever mined. Currently, there's 20 million mined, but experts project that the last Bitcoin will be mined in 2140.
Proof of work is where a computer solves a hashing algorithm to validate a block. And every time that this block is validated, the computer or the owner of the computer will receive a certain amount of Bitcoin. This is where the Bitcoin halving comes in. Every 210,000 blocks, the amount of Bitcoin that is rewarded for a validated block cuts in half. So we started at 50 Bitcoin was rewarded when you validated a block. Now we're all the way down to 6.25. After this upcoming halving, we'll be all the way at 3.125.
So the first Bitcoin halving happened in 2012. It was then followed by 2016, 2020, and 2024. It happens around every 4 years, and after every single halving, there has been massive multipliers to the current price.
And the reason for this price multiplier is fairly obvious if you've taken like any basic economics class. Supply is going to decrease with each halving. This then means that demand is going to increase and price with it.
Yeah, but there's more purpose behind the Bitcoin halving than just increasing its price action, right? So the purpose behind why there is a Bitcoin halving is to extend the longevity of Bitcoin as a whole. Like I said, there's only 21 million Bitcoin that are ever mined, and so far 20 million have been mined. So the fact that it still has 100 plus years till the last Bitcoin is mined is the whole point behind why the halving happens, right? So for the next decades, it's going to continue to get harder and harder to get your hands on Bitcoin.
Very recently, Bitcoin just reached an all-time high price, and it's not due to like a hype cycle. In late 2021, there was this crypto hype cycle where everybody was talking about it, and that's what drove up the price. This time, it's actually because of the US government's approval of the Bitcoin ETF. This means that, more risk-averse companies or companies that aren't even allowed to invest in Bitcoin have started adding a lot more of these Bitcoin ETFs to their portfolio. This has massively driven up the price. And the important thing to note is that the fact that this is happening before a halving is extremely exciting, and we're really looking forward to how this price action happens.
Yes, but the Bitcoin halving is not the only thing to be bullish about Bitcoin for. This is not financial advice, but I don't believe that Bitcoin is a short-term investment. I think there's much more backing it, and it starts from 1971. So in 1971, President Richard Nixon ended the gold standard. The gold standard was a procedure that the United States government used, and every single dollar that was printed was backed by gold. And what this did was it helped manage inflation, it helped run the economy, but this was then stripped. And ever since then, inflation in the United States has risen by 600%.
Right, and that's just what the politicians will admit. So blockchain is this modern solution to this inflation problem. The idea is that all governments around the world can have Bitcoin backed by them as a digital gold.
Correct. So the idea that the entire world can back their own currencies off of this one valuable asset in Bitcoin is something that is just leading us towards a universal currency, which is a step in the right direction for a more unified world.
Yeah, and like all the other videos that we've made, AI or VR, we can't predict what these technologies are going to do to our future. But regardless, it's exciting to talk about how it's being implemented in the current day and how it potentially could be implemented in the future. So we'd love if you guys would, continue watching these videos, subscribe if you want to see more.
Oh, and if you want to learn more about particular stuff with crypto and what the space is looking like in 2024, we just made a video. It's probably going to be right under Conall, so definitely take a look at that. And yeah, the last thing I got for you, Conall, is just what's once is plus once is.
If I had to guess, it's
deuces.